Hollywood, 1966, the Green Hornet television set. Bruce Lee is filming his first major fight scene as Kato when stunt coordinator. Frank Miller stops production, looks at Bruce, and says in front of the entire crew, "You're too fast for the camera. We can't capture your movements. You need to slow down or we can't use you." The director agrees. The cinematographer agrees. The entire production team agrees. Bruce Lee's martial arts are too fast for 1960s. Television technology to capture. The movements blur. The strikes happen between frames. The audience won't believe it's real because they can't see it happening. Bruce has a choice: slow down his techniques, compromise his martial arts, make it TV friendly, or prove that the problem isn't his. Speed, it's their understanding of how to film it. What Bruce does in the next 18 seconds doesn't just solve the immediate problem. It revolutionizes how action sequences are filmed in Hollywood, creates new camera techniques, new filming speeds, new ways of capturing martial arts on screen, and 18 seconds of demonstration become the foundation for every action movie made in the next 50 years. But to understand why those 18 seconds mattered, we need to understand how action scenes were filmed in 1966. Hollywood, 1966. Television production operates on strict technical standards. Film cameras record at 24 frames per second. That's not arbitrary. It's the minimum speed needed to create the illusion of smooth motion. For the human eye, less than 24 FPS looks choppy. More than 24 FPS requires more film stock, which costs more money. For normal movement, people walking, talking, running, 24 FPS works perfectly. The camera captures enough information to show fluid motion. For action sequences, Hollywood has developed workarounds. Stunt coordinators choreograph fights with big, sweeping movements. Punches thrown with full wind-ups. Kicks chambered, obviously. Exaggerated reactions. Everything telegraphed clearly so the camera can capture each phase of movement. Then there's editing. Fast cuts, multiple angles, close-ups on faces, wide shots on bodies, cut away before impact, cut back after impact. The audience's brain fills in what they don't see. And there's undercranking, filming at slower speeds like 18 FPS, then playing back at 24 FPS, makes movement look faster. Common trick in silent films, still used occasionally in 1960s action sequences. These techniques work. They've worked for decades. Hollywood has mastered the art of making fights look good on camera by choreographing for the camera's limitations. But these techniques are built on a fundamental assumption that human beings move at speeds cameras can capture at 24 FPS. Then Bruce Lee shows up, September 1966, 20th Century Fox Studios, Los Angeles. Stage 9, the Green Hornet television series is in production. The show is a superhero series based on a 1930s radio program. The Green Hornet, wealthy newspaper publisher by day, masked vigilante by night. His sidekick, Kato, played by Bruce Lee. Bruce got the role through a combination of skill and luck. Producer William Beaudine saw him demonstrate martial arts at a tournament, was impressed, brought him in for a screen test. Bruce's charisma and physical ability won the role. But the role is supporting. Kato is the sidekick, the assistant, not the star. Most episodes, Bruce has maybe 5-10 minutes of screen time, a few lines of dialogue, 1 or 2 fight sequences. The production team expects Kato's fights to be standard TV action. Choreographed punches, obvious kicks, the usual. Then they see Bruce move. Stage 9, set design, a warehouse. Kato is supposed to fight 3 thugs. Standard TV fight scene. Should take half a day to film. Choreograph, rehearse, shoot from multiple angles, move on. Frank Miller is the stunt coordinator, 42 years old. Been in the business since he was 27. Started as a stuntman. Fell off horses in westerns. Crashed cars in noir films. Got beat up in war movies. Worked his way up to coordinator. Now he choreographs fights instead of performing them. Frank has worked with everyone. Professional boxers, wrestlers, actors pretending to fight. He knows how to make it look good on camera. Knows the limitations. Knows the tricks. He's choreographed Kato's fight scene. 3 attackers. Bruce takes them down one at a time. Standard sequence. Punch, block, kick, throw. Nothing complicated. Frank walks Bruce through it. First guy comes at you. You block high, punch to the body, sweep his legs. Second guy attacks while you're finishing the first. You duck, uppercut, push him away. Third guy grabs you from behind. You break the grip, elbow strike, spinning back kick. Clean, simple, looks great. Bruce nods. Understands the choreography. They rehearse slowly, step by step. Frank is satisfied. Okay, let's shoot it at full speed. But remember, make it big. Exaggerate the movements. Camera needs to see everything. They reset. Camera rolls. Director calls action. Bruce moves. The first attacker comes in. Bruce blocks, but not the big sweeping block Frank choreographed. A small, tight block. Then a punch, but not a body punch the audience can track. A straight punch, so fast it's invisible. The attacker reacts, stumbling back, but the camera didn't see what hit him. Second attacker. Bruce's duck is more of a subtle weight shift. The uppercut is lightning quick. On playback, it looks like the attacker just fell down for no reason. Third attacker grabs Bruce from behind. Bruce breaks free with a movement the camera can't track. The elbow strike is a blur. The spinning back kick happens faster than 24 frames per second can capture. Director calls cut. Everyone gathers around the monitor to watch playback. The fight looks wrong. Bruce's movements are invisible. Attackers are reacting to strikes the camera never captured. It looks like bad editing, like missing frames, like a technical malfunction. Frank watches the playback 3 times, then turns to Bruce. Bruce, you're too fast. Too fast? Yeah. Your strikes are happening between frames. The camera isn't capturing them. It looks like the guys are falling down for no reason. Director William Beaudine walks over. 73 years old, been directing since 1915. Over 300 films and TV episodes. He's seen everything, but he's never seen this problem. We can't use this footage, Beaudine says. The audience won't understand what's happening. Bruce, you need to slow down. Way down. Make it theatrical. Make it visible. Bruce frowns. But if I slow down, it's not real martial arts anymore. It's just choreographed movement. That's what television is, Frank says, not unkindly, just stating facts. We're not documenting real fights. We're creating entertainment, and entertainment needs to be visible. The cinematographer, name's Harold E. Wellman, veteran of 200+ productions, agrees it's a technical limitation. Bruce, film cameras capture 24 frames per second. That's it. If your movement happens faster than that, we physically cannot record it. You have to work within the technology's constraints. Bruce looks frustrated. This is his first major television role. His chance to show the world what real martial arts looks like, and they're telling him to fake it, to slow it down, to make it theatrical instead of real. There has to be another way, Bruce says. Frank shakes his head. Not with our budget, not with our schedule. Bruce, you're an incredible martial artist, but we need to film a TV show, and that means compromise. The entire crew is watching now. Camera operators, lighting technicians, boom mic operators, set designers, everyone waiting to see what happens. Is Bruce going to refuse? Is he going to walk off set? Bruce thinks. Processing. Then he asks a question. What if we film at a higher speed? Harold, the cinematographer, responds. You mean overcranking? Filming at higher frame rates? Yes. That's expensive. High-speed cameras cost more to rent, use more film stock, require more lighting because each frame gets less exposure time. And then in post-production, you'd have to slow it down to match everything else in the episode. But it would capture my movements, theoretically. But Bruce, we're talking about blowing the budget for one fight scene. The network won't approve that, Frank adds. And even if they did, it creates continuity problems. If your fight is in slow motion and everything else is normal speed, it looks weird. Doesn't match the show's style. Bruce nods. Okay, different approach. What if we capture my actual speed, but use multiple cameras from different angles? Then edit together the angles where the movement is most visible. Beaudine considers. Multiple cameras means multiple crews, more expensive, and editing fight scenes from multiple angles is time-consuming. But it's possible. Possible, yes. Practical for a weekly TV show schedule? No. Everyone's shutting down Bruce's ideas. Not because they're bad ideas. Because they're expensive ideas. Impractical ideas. Ideas that don't fit the reality of 1960s television production. Bruce can feel the pressure. The entire crew waiting. The director wanting to move on. The coordinator wanting simple solutions. The cinematographer explaining technical limitations. He could just slow down. Make it easy. Make it filmable. Get through the day. Keep the job. But something inside Bruce refuses to compromise. He spent his entire life mastering speed, developing technique, training his body to move faster than normal human reaction time. And now Hollywood wants him to throw that away. Pretend to be slow. Perform martial arts in slow motion so cameras can keep up. No. Can I show you something? Bruce asks. Give me 18 seconds. Just 18 seconds of real speed. Then we'll figure out how to film it. Frank looks at the director. Beaudine shrugs. We're already behind schedule. What's 18 more seconds? Frank turns to the crew. Clear the set for a demonstration. Everyone back to your positions. We're rolling. Bruce returns to his starting mark. 3 stunt performers, the attackers, reset their positions. Camera rolls. Director calls action. Bruce moves. Full speed. Real speed. No compromise. First attacker comes in. Bruce's block and counter happen simultaneously. One movement, strike lands, controlled, pulls back before injury. Attacker stumbles back. 1.2 seconds elapsed. Second attacker charges. Bruce sidesteps, redirects the momentum, adds a controlled palm strike to the attacker's back. Attacker continues forward, crashes into a prop table. 2.4 seconds elapsed. Third attacker grabs Bruce from behind. Bear hug, strong grip. Bruce drops his weight, breaks the grip structure, twists, delivers a controlled elbow to the attacker's solar plexus, then a spinning back kick that stops 1 inch from the attacker's face. Perfect control. Attacker releases, backs away. Total elapsed time, 4.1 seconds. 3 attackers neutralized. 4.1 seconds. Bruce stands in ready position, breathing normally, not even winded. Then, without pausing, Bruce does something unexpected. He turns to the camera, faces it directly, and performs the entire sequence again. But this time in deliberate slow motion. Each movement fully extended. Each block visible. Each strike telegraphed. Every angle clear. Each technique demonstrated at a speed the camera can absolutely capture. The slow motion version takes 13.9 seconds. Total demonstration time 18 seconds, 4 seconds at full speed. Director calls cut. The crew is silent, processing what they just witnessed. Frank Miller stands frozen. He's been a stunt coordinator for 15 years, choreographed hundreds of fights. But he's never seen someone move like that. And he's definitely never seen someone demonstrate the same sequence at 2, completely different speeds with perfect control. Harold, the cinematographer, is staring at the camera monitor, rewinding, watching again. The full-speed version is mostly invisible, but the slow-motion version is perfect. Every detail visible, every technique clear. Director Beaudine walks over to Bruce. For a long moment, he just looks at him, then speaks. Do that again, but this time, I want 3 cameras. Wide shot, medium shot, close-up. And Bruce, do your full-speed version first, then your slow version. We'll shoot both. In editing, we'll figure out how to make it work. Bruce nods. Yes, sir. They reset. 3 cameras now. Different angles, all rolling simultaneously. Bruce performs the sequence, full speed, then slow demonstration speed, clean, controlled, perfect. They shoot it 6 times. Different angles, different lighting, building a library of footage that editors can work with. After the 6th take, Frank pulls Bruce aside. What you just did, that's not standard TV action. I know. It's going to require new editing techniques, new ways of cutting fights together. I know. It's going to change how we approach action sequences. Bruce smiles. That's the idea. The episode airs 3 weeks later, September 9th, 1966. The Green Hornet premieres on ABC. Kato's fight scene lasts 47 seconds on screen. Editors used Bruce's full-speed footage, his slow-motion demonstration footage, and rapid cutting between angles to create something television audiences had never seen before. Real martial arts speed, captured through innovative filming and editing. The response is immediate. Critics praise Kato's fight scenes as revolutionary, impossibly fast, the most authentic martial arts ever shown on American television. Viewers tune in specifically to watch Kato fight. The sidekick becomes more popular than the main character. Bruce Lee becomes a household name, and Hollywood takes notice, not just of Bruce, but of the techniques used to film him. Multiple cameras, high-speed filming for certain shots, rapid editing to create the illusion of speed while maintaining visibility. Within a year, action films start adopting these techniques. By 1970, they're standard practice. By 1980, every action movie uses multiple cameras and rapid editing for fight scenes. Today in 2025, every action film, every superhero movie, every martial arts film, every John Wick sequence uses techniques that were invented in 1966. Because Bruce Lee was too fast for cameras, The Matrix's bullet time, evolution of those techniques. John Wick's tactical shooting sequences, same editing principles. Every Marvel fight scene, multiple cameras capturing different angles of the same action, edited together for maximum impact. All because Bruce Lee refused to slow down. Frank Miller worked as a stunt coordinator for another 20 years, retired in 1986. In every interview, he tells the same story. The day Bruce Lee showed him that the limitation wasn't the martial artist, it was the filmmaker's imagination. Bruce taught me something crucial, Frank would say. When technology limits what you can do, you don't compromise the art, you change the technology. You find new methods, you innovate. Those 18 seconds changed my career, changed how I thought about filming action, changed the entire industry. Harold E. Wellman, the cinematographer, went on to develop high-speed filming techniques specifically for martial arts. worked on dozens of action films, pioneered methods that became standard practice. Director William Beaudine died in 1970, but his decision to embrace Bruce's demonstration, to try something new instead of forcing compromise, became a case study in film schools. How directors can either limit their actors or liberate them. So here's the question. When technology limits what you can do you compromise your abilities, or do you change the technology? When people tell you to slow down, to make yourself smaller, to fit into existing limitations, do you listen? Or do you prove those limitations are artificial? Because Bruce Lee was told by an entire television production, crew, experienced professionals, every one of them, that he was too fast, that he needed to change, that he was the problem. And in 18 seconds, he proved they were wrong, proved the limitation wasn't his speed. It was their understanding of how to capture speed. 18 seconds to change Hollywood filmmaking forever. 18 seconds to revolutionize action cinema. 18 seconds to prove that when you refuse to compromise excellence, you force the world to catch up. That's legacy. That's innovation. That's 18 seconds that created 50 years of film technique. What will you do with yours?